Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a, that is the wrong monitor. Don't worry about that. Let's move OBS off this. So, why are we on my desktop? I promise this isn't going to be a talkie episode again. But this is going to be a really blurred out section right here. I'm going to move, hold on, let me just turn off monitor capture. I'm going to move FileZilla off that because that's access to our server console. You can imagine I wouldn't want that to be public. So, I got Minecraft over here just doing its own thing. This is me in spectator mode. So up here is kind of where I took the thumbnail last time, and that's another beeper going off. I'm gonna go turn that off. The beeper is dead. Now the reason I'm over here is because I restored my inventory. What do you mean you restored your inventory? Well, let me explain. I hope there's a good way to show this. I guess I could just kind of mess around here. So this is the latest backup of our server. As of this video, and you can see the file size is 3.14 gigabytes. We have a fairly strict no backup, no exploring on our server, and that's not to say that we don't want people to explore the world, but that could easily be done in like single player in a different world with the seed or something, because it makes the file size huge. You can see the latest one is 2.14. I mean, that's already getting too big. If we go back just a little bit further, it's 1.58. That would be when a couple new members joined our server, decided they needed elytras, didn't want to ask, and inflated the file size to over 3 gigabytes. Now, I don't know why I closed that. What I did next was I went to MCEdit, deleted a whole bunch of chunks, and now it's 900 megabytes. Now, the problem with this is, let's do something interesting. I'm over here, but let me just disconnect, pull up FileZilla in my off screen. What I'm doing is I'm going to the player data, I'm finding mine, and let's just delete that real quick. Let's log back on, shall we? And now it's as if I was never on the server. Let's go back here, and I'm going to upload the version that was previously on it. Let me just copy that over, log back on. Now I'm not doing anything with these items, I'm just demonstrating. Okay, so now I'm completely different area. I'm in spawn, just down here, and I've got 127 levels in all of my shulker boxes. I'm not going to go there, but I can assure you that these are over at the witch farm. Now this is where I logged in. I didn't really see anything wrong until I noticed my boots were weird. I had chicken instead of steak. My level, everything was just off. So let me just get out of here and put the other one back. So this is just kind of something funny I noticed. I realized that by going to the player file, now that's how I logged in, and I needed to fix that. That's an issue. Off screen, I'm uploading my updated player stats where I'll log in facing the thing. And you can see this is restoring it. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is for a couple things. Is like, oh man, as a server owner, I mean, this server, if you didn't already know this, is 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's a premium server and it costs about $200 for a year. Our members entrusted me with, wow, we have more beacons. Our server members entrusted me with their money, and with it I purchased a better server for all of us, and everybody every day is experiencing this. And little things like this, the know-hows that I have, are one of the reasons that I'm obviously the server owner. I mean, besides the fact that I started it, but like remain to manage it, and I'm successful at it. I wanted to share this because it was interesting. It was just a quirk. Like I logged in with my wrong inventory. Let me turn off monitor capture real quick. Minecraft? Okay. I logged in, it was like, this isn't my inventory, and I actually had a panic. I was a little freaking out, and then I realized that I can go through the player data, and if, for those of you who don't know, if you hover over your name, it gives you that, and under player data in your world files, that little, not number, but that code refers to you, and it's always the same. If you delete it and you log back in, it'll make that. I don't know how they come up with that, but that always refers to you. One other difficulty I actually had was I loaded up the world. I'll be posting pictures from Discord on what actually happened, but I loaded up the world and part of this entire perimeter was missing because I effed up in Schematica. So yeah, I had to delete the chunks and fix it. That was player stuff. And yeah. But let's hop into Oh, he put in the obsidian. So that's so much Damn it, why don't people talk to me? I Did they do the whole thing? Okay. I'm freaking out because this middle circuit, the one here, the one over here in obsidian, I did this in obsidian on a test world just as a block to differentiate. So someone's gonna have to tear this out. I mean, just frankly. This was supposed to lock the hoppers. We decided not to do this, which somebody did not get the memo. This is the viral incident all over again. For those who didn't see the last episode, viral swapped this out with gold, redid the whole furnace array, and actually effed up all the minecarts, and I had to... Hello, creeper. And I had to redo this, even though I'd already built it, because people are following the schematic to the T, which isn't even accurate, by the way. The schematic's not complete. I'm not going to rant on camera, but this circuit is entirely unnecessary and we have no plans of ever using it. Locking the hoppers used to save on lag a long time ago, but in 1.9 plus they've actually reduced the lag significantly. When implementing this circuit in creative, we couldn't actually tell any difference. It wasn't really that bad. So I don't really know what even the point is of having it, but small thing, but I came up in the middle of this sorting system and I just looked up and like I saw the night sky. It's just it gives this thing so much atmosphere, just a tiny detail like that and it's like, whoa. Wow. Okay, here do. We need dragon eggs for the but oh, it is just so cool to see. On top of the miserable news of this extra circuit that shouldn't be in place, me and Do are going to go ahead and put the ice streams. I really don't care what we use for the walls. Just ensure two things. It's lit up and water doesn't spill anywhere. That's all I need. I gotta talk again. Like, I mean, who put the beacons in the corners of it? Like, wouldn't it have made sense to just center them in the item elevators? Is that just me, Do, or like...
Nah, it would look better.
I don't really know what the logic was behind that.
I
This
don't
is
know.
a classic scenario of if you're watching this and wondering why I'm not going to fix that right away, to work on projects as not just this scale, but as complex as this, you really do need to marginalize yourself. You got to focus on one thing at a time. I have ice in my inventory, that's what I'm doing. The beacons can wait. They can be done later. It also helps to have a lot of people because I frankly didn't do most of this, but you know, everybody does their part. Like, if everybody does a little bit, and you've got a server the size of Minerva, then everything gets done pretty fast. But that's all I wanted to say. Let's work on these ice streams. So I said I wasn't gonna record like much of this, but I want to just test this first item stream because it is just kind of a mess. Okay, so it's gonna kind of come over the top. It's gonna go down, and then it's gonna get sorted. Okay. Do just mentioned like how the blocks were just freaking everywhere. I don't think he actually meant the items in the chests, but it made me think of this because this is pretty similar to how the chests looked on our last world, and there was about 20 to 30 of those full double chests. They looked like a creative menu. And when we first turned on the sorting system, we had put every item in place, and that thing started sorting. We had to run it overnight just to get every item in. But when it was done and the overflow chest was empty, that was a moment like no other. On the ink sac supply, uh, answer is still absurd. Seriously? So, I told the guys not to remove bedrock until I had a chance to look at this, and they ignored me, which is just frustrating to say the very least. I, God damn it. Yeah, okay, so they did exactly what I didn't want them to do. Let me talk about what I'm talking about. So, the killing floors, which apparently we've resorted just to hoppers, the witches are gonna die, and then we had some systems that we're gonna switch this out for. And then the items are gonna go along here, down the item streams, and I think I already mentioned this. So, Luflossi said that he wanted to put the item streams down in bedrock, which I said was great. You can remove the bedrock, but that's an awesome idea. And then he went out to the side. Like, I don't... Was he trying to get these to match up? I mean, I guess. I can see that, I suppose. I would have gone straight out, like, from this middle block, gone all the way to the middle, and then lined it up. And then another thing with the what I just said about them being there, I mean, we don't actually know where the drops are going. I think I've already gone into extensive detail about this on the channel, so I'm not going to. But I'm thinking an extra elevator over here, which is not over there. I It's frustrating because I told him not to remove bedrock. I needed to take a look at it. He completely ignored me and they did it anyway, which I can't. Stuff like this. I'm sure he tested it. Luflosi's smart, but this to me doesn't look stable. Like if it's coming in from here with enough velocity, is that iron block really going to stop it enough to never get stuck on that pressure plate and or get stuck on the bedrock? Like I said, I'm sure he tested it, but you know, like I have to know these things. This is important. But it makes sense, and I can't blame him because I haven't played in 2 solid days. So Allison came over today and yesterday. Yesterday being, let me check my phone quick. Saturday. Saturday is now. Friday was yesterday because it's 1:41, and then Thursday was before that, and then before Thursday was Wednesday. Yeah, where I took a break. I didn't want to play, so I think my last upload was on Tuesday. So I hope none of you thought I was dead, even though I don't know when you'll be hearing this. It'll probably be Saturday or Sunday when I upload this anyway. But I really wanted to mention that on the channel because I haven't been playing. I can see that he made these line up. I accept his decision. I can see the reference marks he made. I like it. That's okay. Don't trust this. Um, and these definitely should not be going to the exact middle. Because, for one, you've destroyed the beacon, which is pointless. And two, this is not where they're going anyway. But, yeah. So somebody donated beacons. That's nice. And Luflasi removed the bedrock, which I think is awesome. This looks really cool because it's totally natural. If I just hop in a I've been a spectator this whole time because, like I said, I haven't been playing. The very last thing I did on this world was I took a screenshot for the thumbnail for my last video. That's how long it's been. Where even in this video, I think I demonstrated that I fixed my inventory. Like I said, my last recording was 3 days ago, and I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. So, yeah, you walk right on top of this. We laid it out. That will never not bother me. We laid it out on a pen and paper. I'll put that on camera right now, which I think I already showed on the channel, but yeah, I think these things are pretty fun to do. I actually got a grid paper and a pencil out to my desk, and I'm going to use it whenever I need to jot anything down. So let's talk about this sorting system a little bit. I kind of abandoned the ice streams, at least for now, because I don't really have any drive to do it, and I kind of want to cover other things. So you can see with Optifine, I've got over 2,800 tile entities, 60 FPS, okay, 40 FPS, which is still smooth, very, very, very playable. Um, and I even have a pretty decent computer, I would like to think. I've got a GTX 1060 graphics card. Oh yeah, it's Minecraft craziness, I can fly. That's how long it's been. So okay, they open up the windows so I can get back in. That's nice. Alright. So the whole design of this sorting system was to be lag friendly. Someone suggested that I show this stuff in a creative world, which I should probably do. Yeah, I'll cut there. I'm in a creative world. This is the sorting system, right? Okay. Uh, I'm so hesitant because we have another one right over there. There's a bunch of stuff behind me. Oh, I'm spoiling the base. No, you're never gonna see it. No, I'll show that in the video. I also want to address, just in the middle of this, I'm gonna mesh it in here. For people who have been commenting for a world download slash schematic of this, when the build is completely done on the server, I will load up a single player world and kinda, I don't know, MC edit this in or something. And then you can download this and play around with it for whatever you want to do with it. And I'll also provide a schematic, which personally I prefer, but the schematic will not involve item frames. So yeah, I am getting massive screen tearing, so I'm going to turn on VSync and let's just see if that kills it right away. Yeah, fixed it. Okay. You guys probably won't be able to see it because I'm recording in 30 FPS, but if you don't know what screen tearing is, just look it up. It's what happens when, just look it up. So we designed this whole sorting system to be lag friendly. You can see that I am loading both of these sides and I'm at 30 FPS smooth, which would actually be higher, but like you just saw, I'm also facing, wait for it, wait for it, the other sorting system, which even though that's not rendering, is still loaded, and my CPU is being hammered right now because Minecraft is a bitch. So this thing's actually really lag friendly. Now I mentioned that there was an obsidian circuit, you can see it here, which we actually neglected to use on the world because, here I was getting 30 FPS. If you flick it off, then all of the sorting hoppers that would be picking up the items to sort are turned off. Now, when they're turned off, or when they're not being powered, is what I meant, is when they won't actually be searching for items, which is a lot less laggy. And when or is a lot more laggy. When I come here, it's still 30 FPS. Like, it really doesn't affect performance in any noticeable way, especially when you go down any of these wings, your FPS typically goes right back up to 60. This one's a little hard because of the item frames. This one's a lot nicer because it's main blocks. That was the whole idea. And also, the locking the hoppers thing was just because it was only possible because this is too wide. So each design has storage and the item indicating it. That might be a very messy thing to see. In fact, I'll use the dies just to demonstrate. You got the, you display it on the right, and then you got the storage on the left. Anytime you ever see this, they're even staggered. You see you've got storage and indication right here. The idea is to have the indication for the what is raw hot dog. That's the resource pack that somebody is working on the server. I'm just testing it for him. This is also supposed to be steak. You can see the ID down here. So the storage item is always indicated on the right of the actual storage. And this is too wide, which means that the redstone can actually be very, very compact. Like it's really tiny for 4 items per slice, which is one less than the 5 items we had earlier, but I like this a lot better. It's a little bit more practical. As far as numbering goes, it's really easy because each slice is 8 items, which binary is nice. And that keeps things simple. So that's what the whole idea of this sorting system was. Lag friendly, constantly. That's why we're even using shulker box storage, because it is a lot nicer to have 7 double chests of spider eyes, which can store 700,000 items, which would be enough spider eyes for like 21 years of AFK, than it is to just have a wall of chests that we'd never be using anyway, you know? So yeah, even these crafting systems kind of make me cringe, because it's like, I mean, they're necessary because you gotta craft the items, but oh, I wish there was a better way to do that. Maybe Shulker Box would improve it, but I really like the old method of breaking the chests from below. I think that's a solid design. And then the clock, of course, goes in complete contrast with our whole idea of making it lag friendly, but sue me. It's fun. It's whatever. It's only going to be triggered when it's sorting anyway. It's really not going to be that bad. In fact, if anybody really complains, I'll just make a clock to turn it off. And then once it's off, it's just static redstone, which to my knowledge doesn't make any updates. It just kind of sits there and exists. The torches, even with the lighting updates, you can just light it up. I mean, it's really not a big deal. And that's kind of the lag efficiency of this thing. Because my last episode was a talky episode, I am going to actually do something before I upload this. I really want to get some progress done. In fact, let's cut back to the survival world. Creator of TNT has been insanely active on the server. He built all of these dispensers for the shulker boxes, which is awesome. You've got item filters for the items that would be put into bulk storage, and that'll go down its stream. Are these even facing down? Wow, that must have been a pain. Um, and then that'll flow in, and I have videos on how this works. If you want to know, I'll link you. As one last added opinion about this witch hut thing, like, along with everything else that I said, I mean, they're going nowhere. I mean, they're just gonna despawn. I mean, it's not that bad, but I really like to collect the items that our farms produce. I mean, that's just a personal preference, I'm not gonna lie, but it's nice to actually keep. Oh man, this one beacon that wasn't lit was speed, and oh, was I feeling it. Why does it still only say speed? Ah, much better. Okay, so that was the end of part one. I'm not usually a fan of doing multiple parts for something that isn't a series, but this video is already going to be 35 minutes long, so I'm going to cut it here at the 20-minute mark because I think everything up to this point has been like on the server kind of an update. And then in part two, you can expect some debates we had on quarries and witch farm designs and a little bit more on what was actually going on in the server, and it was more of kind of a discussion. So I think this is a great place to cut it. Like I've mentioned, I think in this video, I don't know how many times, I've been inactive, I plan to start playing, I have a life, and I apologize. Also with the Borderlands videos, I address that in the next part. So hopefully this will kind of show you that I'm not dead, and I hope you enjoyed what I do have. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, and you can expect a part 2 tomorrow.